Hello. This is about English. English grammar is about invisible but still discernible. Not just English grammar. This is not just about space's identity. This is about how it is self generating as the hierarchy of sequence that nature, that identity is. For example, each identity of the body, each cell, each organ, individually grouped and together they are semi-nature relationship to your individual complete nature of volume. You are simultaneously a semi-nature, age, area, sex, because of no age, because of is a grouped. This is all in demonstration of the group nature of volume. The individual nature of volume, distinctly, non-distinctly, and simultaneously as the species nature of volume. Because this identity of value progression, invisible but still discernible, is so this way, by being invisible but so distinctly, and non-distinctly and simultaneously, and not only just as what bonds each individual identity of value progression, individually, grouped, and together simultaneously, but as the further value of that, by and as this identity of value progression that will only stay positive. Neutrality is only a phenomenon and demonstration of that. See, but we have neutrality, we have positive and negative conformed as criminal and seditious nature roles to fake sides, of correlation nature, self-value. Correlation nature is a trinity. See, science would have revealed this long ago. For example, evidence, it revealed it to the ancients that revealed this republic. By and as a sophistication of and as this appreciation of this nature of as a nature of volume. So every time they bring up a subject, every time they bring up a theme, they're leaving out predicate value. They're leaving out subject value because we have value systems here abridged. The sciences, the industries in conjunction with that as nature of logic, justified premise treatments, sequence treatments, physical delusion treatments, criminal insidious self-valued, therefore as sensibilities, treatments of positive distinctly and non-distinctly from logic without criminal foreign influences. So I'm not a doctor, not a police form criminal, but I'm recorded more competent than doctors with psychology because they are criminally foreign influenced. Delusions rot. And so therefore there are sensibilities also involved with recorded uses of Facebook with various natures of courts involved with them with racketeering, acts and methods. For example, there are women judges and male judges involved with girls I never had a conversation with. So, like gun crimes. NRA has nothing. NRA is not Constitution. It's not one person. So and then people attack the NRA, then they defend that, and that is defense of quality of fact sheet nature. That you can't defend that, and also from what exploits that. Each modern nation. This is maintenance to areas and states' mass criminal insidiousness natures of logic racketeering roles as criminal insidiousness natures. Not lawyer, not plea from, not criminal. A whole bunch of girls like two Mulcahy sisters involved with on and off Fox Connecticut News racketeering. Locations next to it with interbranch and foreign. And overt criminal enterprises and private ones. This Justice Department racketeering, Pentagon racketeering. and roles with that, and as that leading up to and in the Trade Center context, and with the investigators since. This is roles with what maintained styles of, like, not Mulcahy, but Mogman. Also, Mulcahy with the Fox News too, but different. Mogman family. Those girls, I don't know them either. They're recorded and confessed and demonstrated involved with houses in my area, with their extended family members, and with their friends that are involved with Wethersfield police, and with judges, even female judges, black and white, and even black and white military police involved with racketeering of a whole bunch of natures with kids and with databases, even medical, even sexual, even with their Facebook pages. So now they have to lie about what is actually recorded. And they're recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with those investigators' interbranch uses of their Facebook pages, so they could lie and pretend things like, oh, this person's prejudice, or this person's hateful speech, so they could switch sequences because they start the aggression. This is about positive treatments. Them as criminal ceaseless nature legalized and self-value it because they're criminally foreign influenced. Self-valuing how those influences with everyone around them are juxtaposed. Real but fake, whereas now it counts, really what motivates them not to allow free speech, originally and still. Now these are people that are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated are involved with racketeering uses of the stewards of each age of campus through time as victims, but they want to make opinions. It's a victim predators. That's what's recorded too. It's also recorded that way. They're involved with database racketeering. They use crime method, pretend they don't understand what people say. That's recorded also with their rape threats, New Britain Superior Court. The reason they did those passion crimes, though, is because that's years after they were already involved since before the Trade Center attack with Hartford courts, involved with former director of the FBI, his lawyer's office, location, person, and federal criminal co-defendants of them and their family members. Also involved with on and off Fox Connecticut News, on and off WFSB, racketeering roles, actual, and with the crime method of pretending it's just police allowed to do it. In real life, a Kerr family also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated this. And there's people online you can't tell who it is, but they're also forging and switching names, like KNER. Also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the female judges involved with a principal sex offender, with more and worse recorded, confessed by themselves and other people before and after that. There are two Mendez police. I believe a Janito or some other name Mendez, but a fake. I never had a conversation with him ever. He's recorded, confessed, and demonstrated a victim predator of racketeering roles with racketeering acts with databases and with cases in the past, including with depositions where they paint fake sides. A Mike Pandoff, a Mike Domain, a Mike Kerr. They're brothers. Mike Kerr has a brother, Jerry Kerr, a father, Jerry Kerr. They're involved with insurance police. A whole bunch of people with a former Mayor Gold involved with insurance police. And now these people also involved with lawyers, identity the ground locations on and off the Armory in Hartford. We have racketeering Washington, D.C., Pentagon, tied to CCSU interstates. Whole bunch of ways tied to California, because they have racketeering with every subject, every subject. English, they have linguistics. They have linguistics involved with racketeering because they're obfuscating predicate value. Because they're obfuscating how they've been charging the real causes of predicate acts and hiding the real causes of predicate acts. I'm blaming them on other causes, other things on others themselves since founding, like our founders. We have people who will tell you that they love America, but they just don't like how our founders were slaveholders. Our founders were slaves. That's like calling the guy who had the better job, they called him Uncle Tom. That's also tied to Harriet Beecher Stowe House, Mark Twain House in the corner of Farmington Avenue, and that whole strip right there by the what is it called? A gated community in Hartford there. Also involved with racketeering with the Justice Department. Various natures, towns police involved with my town's police chief and retired and standing with racketeering of a whole bunch of natures against each age of fact keeping nature simultaneously, non-distinctly, and simultaneously as this racketeering method that was using human fact keeping nature style as logic racketeering roles originally instilled. So even with how they describe the past, they can't describe it now and defend themselves. So they have to rely upon contrast. In Russia and here, for example, hundreds of nations at once, same thing, fake sides. Forced when it's not, that's exploited by those fake sides where we're all pretending they're positive. So none of them can take free speech. Because positive is, there are 5 semi-natures of positive as sequence nature, which is sequence true, as that which is from before us, beyond us, but still our value system, complete as natures, actually complete, as the one that is complete unto all individual grouped and all identities of value together. We have this natural system inherent, but no one's allowing it free speech. Not one must teach. Not one woman spoke up for predicate value every time they bring up a subject theme, because not one woman came through a campus that wasn't criminally foreign influenced. In other words, every campus that every woman came through, every girl came through, was criminally foreign influenced. Same thing, distinctly and non-distinctly, and all together. The boys and girls are hurt sickly distinctly by what's helping them simultaneously, because this is the cultivation of roles with misprision and criminality. Now they have programs with kids, so they have sensibilities by jobs involved with reactions to their uses of the grammar school age, racketeering method for sustained, where they are recorded fake care for sustained acted upon the kids. And entertained, you're going to be a nutbag. They're going to describe you as that because you're not going to be able to explain it because you're a kid. And then, that's just, that's just those people because, those, don't mess with those people. They're evil. Because they have the interbranch and they have all private tied to them like prisons. And the campuses are recorded being used and having been used to hide their life aggressions. That only capable of their souls being as value's cores. So is sequence true? The order to the finite's value. It is the value of sequence true. Simultaneously. Because this is, again, invisible but still discernible, our subject. Clear. What's black? What's white? They failed the Trinity. Boxings. I teach you things. Your campus lie, and each who'll tribe. See breach. Get me response. Your sick branches stealing people's identities through time. I caught them. I just remind. You know how many people Hartford Hospital hurt? With all even real patients, because they're involved with a whole bunch of natures of racketeering with lawyers and with the bar originally and still. You sick delusion lot. Excuse my French before I say. Sorry, France, for calling you guys the name of a swear. I don't know why they could put that in there. Maybe it's because we had to have our first ally. Be still not free with us. At the same time, by the same thing that's criminal maintenance to itself as criminal foreign influence states and areas. But it's not sourced from one other nation, but it's fluent through each. This is how. See, but you guys won't follow mandated law. Same courts, real sick, destroy people in a second, even made up, and in sustained ways. Now they want to debate that using what's self-valued, all theater, only ever heard debated, all faith in them nonsense. Originally and still, we can't even talk about how you have physical delusions recorded if you have entertained convictions with color and with racism. Because when they're debating racism and then defending it, what they call racism, you can't defend those logic racketeering anything but as roles with the racketeering method that's preventing the real science from demonstrating who's entertaining that and counters to it blaming on the wrong things is with physical delusions, self-value, then defended. It's logic racketeering, incompetent. It's all right. You want to have faith in other people thinking for you. Your every industry, everything. Psychologists, you don't even know. Then you want to make it. Then you want to, they're forging names, switching names. These are people. They're the Leahy family that have people. They do little tricks like they have someone Rick Faglione was involved with them with spreading sequence shifts and and his brother and sisters and my mother and father and a whole bunch of people tied to houses in my area that hung around with them, but not me. I only the whole time in high school and their cousins. I never hung around with them. With the right call, came into my street when I was in fourth grade. Came into a house reportedly the girlfriend of the past police chief years ago. Also, with them involved with the new police chief and other cities' police, like with a Mayano family, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also racketeering with people with boxing gyms. A whole bunch of people with CCSU involved with on and off the state of Connecticut judicial branch offices racketeering with the houses and families next to it. Also on and off the state prison offices and the houses near that, racketeering through time. These are people with a Dillon family, his former partner, and their roles with like gun ranges and things like that, gun dealerships. Their roles with value treatments, like all when they say things about the NRA, the media is pretending they're about free speech and free press. But it's not about that because they're not preventing mandated law. And that is exploited and force sustained. Not one has trained. So they're involved with worse than just extortion and torture of people, preventing free speech, database racketeering, worse than just impositions on people's education on a mass scale. Now we have each nature of science as pseudoscience recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. We have sociology also sick with psychology's physical delusions. I'm going to teach you what a physical delusion is. I'm not a doctor because they're going to tell you wrong because their physical delusions raw, criminally foreign influence, crime acts and methods, whole crime methods, and actually recorded natures as criminal and seditious nature. You learn here through me how ratiocination and pseudo-ratiocination share an identity simultaneously, which is increasing nature of volume. Yin and yang. So we have these people. They have there are men and women with the FBI recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with this Dylan Roof kid, and their roles and uses of their own kids and of other people's kids as sick beasts. Campus Marcius rises knees. So what do they have to do? They have to point to something someone said that a group wouldn't like, and pretend, oh, that's hateful. Each group is being used as a weapon originally and still. That's not the and where it has it counts. Where it has and how it counts. We're invisible but still discernible as our unceasing and gaining subject. and value as increasing value or nature or volume of the predicate simultaneously. All physical things discerned, all invisible things discerned are still further for the discernment of this identity of value progression, its identity of relationship to itself, and the value of that. Because that's how you can see it and know what's going to cause evolution's fruits and gifts for real. But this is through a value nature system, and these are tactically ulterior from. These are breaching method employed. Specifically, too, as a method that maintains everyone blaming the causes of it, and what it causes, everyone blaming out other things, others themselves, and then defending that. So the nature gets more and more criminal insidious, this nature. Things get better only because it was so sick in layers, specifically so everyone would say, oh, well, look, things are getting better. A standard's all tactically ulterior. Physical delivery, we have all victim predators when you guys make opinions. Follow mandated law, those are evidences, active. Sequential, these are sequence shifts further tied with Connecticut's involved with sequence racketeering, with the agencies and with directors indifferent. We have military indifferent to their criminal foreign influence roles with the criminal uses in other branches. There's no indifference between them where it now counts. They're stacking falsified police reports, human trafficking acts with switching officers' names, attaching innocent people to fake locations, all to cover up what they're caught with now. Now there are a whole bunch of police forms with East Hartford. Why they're trying to dig into other the people around them? Because they're misprisoned and raised that way. Whole bunch of people tied to the Morrow family with the East Hartford and with the CCSU, and that's also with the Kerr family, and with a whole bunch of people with CCSU, with the parks in my town involved with fire departments criminally, with mayors retired and standing, and with the judges involved with the girls criminally through the programs, and the boys criminally through the programs, like with the parks, with the community centers, with the Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts. They're going to go there to time, then they're going to defend their time and their treatments of things in relationship to what's legal or not. But see, what's legal is still criminally foreign influenced, and that's being exploited by people that are above them, like former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin. You guys don't even know him. So someone needs to make an opinion about him. You guys are preventing people from demonstrating how that's tied to you guys sequence shift, stealing our identities, people who live around us. All these people tied to a house in my area /S involved with them with federal criminal co-defendants of this guy. Also involved with them with a whole bunch of overt criminal enterprises, private ones through time. Now these are people that are into gun preservation for right. Of course, we want to hold on to. We don't want to have the whole other world be taken over. The best way to defend ourselves is to defend the surface values of the Constitution simultaneously. If you want to debate something is constitutional or not, you can't be a person who's hiding from mandated law and then making opinions with physical delusions and preventing that from being demonstrated, which the Facebook is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, also having been employed for trade center racketeering roles, for the defenses of roles with that, and their uses of it by New Britain Superior Court and Hartford courts, involved with racketeering, with depositions, and with cases, and with investigators off their campus, off their courts, and confessions leading up to the Trade Center attack context from Connecticut. And these are people then after who are involved with on and off the state of Connecticut judicial branch offices and prison offices, further racketeering also with the military, also with color, black and white female judges. We have the families of judges. I don't know if they're male or female, involved with like probate courts, especially with the kids criminally, and then superior courts and a Connecticut district court involved with the New Britain Superior Court and Hartford Court and Middletown courts recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with each other and on and off CCSU. These are also police forms from all different cities and their family members with positions in the campuses with foreign and domestic, keeping them needed to hide lie progressions, using methods like forging names, switching names, sticking falsified police reports into databases. They have the alternatives to jails that are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the racketeering with the houses on my area as victim predators. They criminally are recorded pretending to proceed that I'm knocking people. Oh, if you say that, if that's criminal, well, then of course you're not. I want, No, I'm talking about specific acts. So if I was wrong, they would say, "Oh, you're wrong. That's not a sequence shift." But they can't say that. So they forge names, switch names, attach me to fake conversations my entire life, especially with this Leahy guy. There's a Leahy guy, a Leahy family, two Brendan Leahys and women in their family, with a whole bunch of medical racketeering cliques, and with New Britain Superior Court, with drug cliques and sexual circles, with this Mano family, with the people in my area involved with them with racketeering, with child sex offender principals campus, and their own kids involved with that. These are people that also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated they pretend passions and emotions of hate involved with this against my father. They don't even know. They pretend he's involved with things that were proving that police were involved with overt criminal enterprises, also associated with the witness protection program, also stewards, also tied to the area. And the same people actually tied to this Joshua Julian is involved with the racketeering with the principal sex offenders campus with him, recorded, even on Facebook. Also, this again, this was in a straight line of racketeering that Hartford courts, Connecticut courts were involved with leading up to the Trade Center attack. Now, these are also people in their sexual circles and families involved with racketeering with the investigators since. Former director of the FBI down, and all gather around. Who disbelieves? Pick one C name in sequence. See, they're sustaining this because they need it for what they already have active now with the programs with each age of fact sheeping nature grouped, just like we're grouped. This is the one complete nature's demonstration of how it is semi-nature distinctly and non-distinctly, and simultaneously. Simultaneous nature is what is semi-nature too. This is Trinity nature's value/value nature relationship to itself. It's that self which is self-generating. The identity of conjunctions. Subordinated clause. Independent clause. They have the identity of identities, nature of volume. Its identity of relationship to itself, that nature of volume, and have the value of that. As this invisible but still discernible identity of value, progression, and demonstration to us. Boxing. It tells things. So there are three natures of letters. Always. There are three natures as the value of each individual letter and number. Juxtaposed. That's why number 3 looks like it's coupling B. Now that they revealed that as theory years ago. I don't know. That's what my math teacher told me in high school. But see, now I'm going to show you way beyond that. I'm going to show science exactly how and why it is that way. Hear many praise. This identity is bigger than right to left will always ever be. No matter how many identity of value progressions individually grouped and together there are. Because all that is bonded by only a semi-nature's simultaneously semi-nature, two ways, and simultaneous nature, one way, three semi-natures, that are self-generating. As the identity of forever is bigger than its body, as your identity is bigger than your own, in demonstration of this. Its identity of relationship to itself, and the value of that, again, boxing. Designed to share an identity, and yin yang will not part. Yin yang goes inside letter/value O, and that slash also called the solidus. They have other names for it. I read on wikipedia.com. Tell dads and mom boxing. The timeless campus returns now for things. Some bring the name called Lost and Found. So we're going to learn about logic and about logic racketeering recorded. And we're going to see how they're recorded narratives with logic racketeering narratives and natures about what they say is proper evidence reception. Intersciences, not just interbranch. Because this is evidence racketeering roles with the Constitution abridged. They built each identity of science abridged to have that self-defended. All victim predators. Forgiveness is to have this conversation to overcome these value nature systems self-justify. Opinion nature's victim predators can't defend their logic racketeering, premise treatments, sequence treatments, positive treatments, and us from what exploits criminalizes nature's a positive self-value. Oh! CT is cherry tree. Build wall.